April the 2nd, 2011, and Didcot Railway Centre is a hive of activity as the Great Western Society launches its latest addition to the locomotive fleet. Great Western King Class number 6023 King Edward II steams for the first time since it was scrapped by British Railways in 1962. 2011 marks the 50th anniversary of the Great Western Society, and the King's launch into traffic is just the first event helping to celebrate this landmark anniversary. When the preserved engines list was published in 1961, 4 teenage boys were disappointed to find that of the 71 locos on the list, only 10 were Great Western, none of which were a 14XX Class 042 tank engine. So after writing a letter to the Railway magazine asking for donations to help preserve one of these engines, and later forming what would become the Great Western Society, enough money was raised and a recently withdrawn member of the class was preserved. And this is it. Number 1466 was purchased from British Rail ownership at a cost of £700, becoming the GWS's first locomotive. She was delivered to a siding at Totnes Quay from Taunton on March the 18th, 1964, being steamed for the first time under GWS ownership the following month. By 1967, a variety of ex-Great Western locos and rolling stock had been bought for use by the Society, including Hall, Manor and 61 XX class locos, and an auto coach for use with 1466, all of which was stored at various locations in the south of England. But with British Railways closing hundreds of miles of railway line, some of these locations would no longer be available for storage. So the decision was made to move all of the locos and stock to Didcot, which had a selection of buildings, including coal and watering facilities and a 4-road engine shed. Number 6106 became the first loco to take up residence at Didcot on November the 4th, 1967, with all the stored stock in Devon, including 1466, following on December the 2nd. With British Railways' use of the Didcot site not ceasing until 1970, the Society were initially restricted to the use of Shed Road number 4 to store their stock. The Society organised their first Members' Open Day in May 1969, seeing nearly 1,000 visitors turning up for a ride behind 1466, with 6106 also in steam. This experience led to the first public open day in September of the same year, with an estimated 3,500 visitors attending the event, which again saw the same 2 engines in steam, along with industrial saddle tank Bonnie Prince Charlie. After BR vacated the Didcot site, the GWS was able to develop the full 8.5 acres as they wished, and over the years the Society has laid 2 running lines. The main line runs alongside the eastern perimeter of the site, starting from a platform here just next to the entrance to another at the Oxford end of the site, suitably named Oxford Road. This line also features a set of line-side mailbag apparatus, which allows for mailbag exchange demonstrations to take place. The other line, known as the branch line, runs along the western perimeter of the site for half the distance of the main line. Starting from here at Didcot Holt, it runs to a broad gauge transfer shed adjacent to the Oxford Road platform. The transfer shed was built in the 1860s and was used to transfer goods between standard gauge on the left and broad gauge on the right. It currently houses the broad gauge replica loco Firefly, which can be seen in action along the broad gauge demo line at various times throughout the year. The branch line also has 2 signal boxes, one from Frome North installed in 1984 and situated next to the transfer shed. The other, from Radstock West, was installed in 1975 next to the Didcot Holt platform, and also controls the fully operational level crossing adjacent to the box. Other additions to the site were a 6-road carriage shed, complete with workshop and restoration facilities to house the Society's collection of coaching stock, access to which is gained by an ex-Midland Railway traverser from Derby. A 70-foot turntable from Southampton Docks was installed in 1977 to replace the original 65-foot one that had been removed some years previously. Visitors to the site are also able to visit the museum. Opened in 1982, it houses an ever-changing display of items ranging from model railways to old ticket machines that can be seen throughout the year. A more recent addition to the centre is the Science, Learning and Railways exhibition. This aims to teach children about certain aspects of railways, like how different signalling codes are used for different trains and which mode of transport is the most environmental. The locomotive collection at Didcot has steadily grown since the Society moved in back in 1967, with around 30 steam and diesel locos in various states of repair, either on display in the shed or in the workshops, ranging from the small one that started it all to the big, latest addition to the working fleet. Looking at how the site at Didcot has been developed over the years, you could be mistaken for thinking that its future is safe. However, it's currently uncertain. You see, with the current lease on the land due to expire in 2019, an appeal has been set out to secure a new 50-year lease which will guarantee the use of the site for the foreseeable future. It also means it'll be easier to plan future developments to the site, which has recently become difficult to do due to the relatively poor amount of time left on the current lease. So, while 2011 marks the end of a restoration project that lasted for nearly 20 years, it also marks the beginning of an important time in the history of the Great Western Society and Didcot Railway Centre.